Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, a special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is going on with Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Foyer and Michael Bullock. So, guys, this Cerebral Smack Talk is going to be a little different, very different. We're only going to be covering the Bad Blood pay-per-view or PLE. We are going to cancel the SmackDown Live. We're going to cancel the AEW Collision. We are just strictly focusing on Bad Blood that went down from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA last night. And we started it off, well, let's just say, in the immortal words of the Dapper Yapper, and AEW ring announcer Justin Roberts, welcome to the shit show. Hell in a Cell. CM Punk goes one-on-one with Drew McIntyre, and boys, it was a fight. It was bloody. It was violent. It was everything we thought it would be. And you damn it to hell, it was exactly what it needed it to be. Winner of the bout, 31 minutes, 25 seconds, CM Punk. I'm going to say it. This goes down as maybe one of the greatest, if not possibly the greatest Hell in a Cell match we've ever seen. It was violent. It was brutal. We saw blood. And it was a throwback and a prelude and a nod to the first Hell in a Cell that was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. And in this one, we had a decisive winner. CM Punk won the match. However, neither man are ever going to be the same. Punk, he left on his own power, yes, but he collapsed on the way out. McIntyre looked like he was destroyed physically, mentally, emotionally. And with CM Punk winning, it puts him on a path of greater things to come. I'm going to pull it. I don't give a damn. 4.5 to 5. You can make an argument that this is a straight 5. But that's how good this match was. It had everything. All the violence, all the chaos. When we said this was the end, this felt like the end. It had a culmination. It had finality. To me, the war is over. And Punk won it. Rightfully so. Deservingly so. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
4.5 to 5 stars, no doubt about it. Fight of the night, not even close. The months-long rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre culminated last night inside Hell in a Cell in a match that was as brutal, violent, and punishing as promised. Both men bled and suffered tremendous pain and suffering inside the unforgiving steel confines of WWE's most storied structure. There were near falls off of finishers, broken and shattered plunder, callbacks to prior story beats, odes to Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13, and an appropriate finish that saw CM Punk feed Drew McIntyre friendship bracelet beads before delivering a chain-assisted go-to-sleep for the win. Expectations were high entering this match based on the story that preceded it and the promised brutality from last Monday's final promo segment, and both men delivered. This was everything it needed to be. It was brimming with appropriate violence that made sense without pushing the boundaries for shock's sake and felt like a fight between two guys who genuinely hated each other. CM Punk winning was the right call, especially considering it was the feud ender and leaves no window for the program to continue. Both men are clear to move on, and they should. How Drew McIntyre retains his year-long momentum remains to be seen, but CM Punk almost certainly emerged as a potential challenger for Gunther, with seeds for that feud having been planted already. Punk obliterated McIntyre with a toolbox to the face in a callback to Bret Hart and Stone Cold's epic submission match at WrestleMania 13. Punk bled, but McIntyre gushed. It had been a long time since fans had been exposed to that level of crimson mask in WWE. The introduction of beads late after teasing the black bag, typically associated with thumbtacks, was a nice touch and played into the most controversial element of the story. 4.5, teetering on 5 stars. Fight of the night, absolutely. One of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. It definitely ranks up there as such. But for me, if I'm going to be honest with you, I still think the greatest one was, of course, the end of an era at WrestleMania 28. That's just me personally. But this one is definitely top 5 for sure. So 4.5 to 5. There's nothing left for me to say. Michael Bullock, you wanted the blood, you got it.
And like you guys said, this was an homage to the first Hell in a Cell that took place on that very date back in 1997, when it was Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker who main evented the very first Hell in a Cell. And I'm sure somewhere those two must have been proud of what CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, what they delivered last night. There was blood, there were tables being used, there was a toolbox being used. This, my friends, was the true definition of Hell in a Cell. 4.5 to 5. Definitely the fight of the night, hands down. And yeah, this was. Yeah, these two were. They gave it their all, and they literally said. These two will never be the same after this. Man. So, like you said, now what's next? And like I said, when it comes to CM Punk, it's obviously, I think it's going to be Gunther and the World Heavyweight Championship, because remember, before Drew McIntyre attacked him, CM Punk was targeting Gunther. So now that he's won and he's moved on, maybe they can really start to plan ahead for it. So we'll wait and see. So really got nothing more to say. 4.5 to 5, definitely the fight of the night. So let's move on, Fletch.
Next up we had was the WWE Women's Championship on the line. The champion Nia Jax, the challenger Bayley. Nia Jax successfully defends the title in 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Solid 3.5 stars. Bayley and Nia Jax were in an unenviable position of following Hell in a Cell, but they delivered. A few spots were anything but clean or pretty, but they recovered nicely and told the story they needed to. The tension between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax remains. Bayley will have a legitimate gripe with Naomi, who was supposed to be her friend, but was busy partying with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair instead, leaving her to go it alone against the heels. That should be a key story direction coming out of the show. And Nia Jax broke out a Nia Conrana that was anything but pretty, but it was super cool and something we do not see out of the champion every day. Her commitment to getting better and living up to this run has made her one of the best stories of 2024. And the ref bump on Jessica Carr was unintentionally hilarious, but, it is what it is. This is right around that 3.25, 3.5 threshold. And, I didn't really have any high hopes going into it. And, far more entertaining than it had any right to be, if I'm going to be honest with you. So not much more to say on that. 3.25, 3.5 for me. So, Michael Bullock, what else is there to say? Tiffany Stratton with another cash-in tease. She got caught with the hands in the cookie jar. And, I mean, we got to keep an eye on that story as well as that outside story of Bayley and Naomi, too.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens when it comes to Bayley and Naomi when it comes to this. I mean, it's not, and I don't think Bayley ever asked for help, so I really don't know what to make out of this. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Nia Jax. I mean, yeah. Did you guys see the look on her face when she caught Tiffany Stratton with that the briefcase?
It was like that. It was like that of a "How dare you."
Yeah, it looked like she was ready to unleash hell on Tiffany Stratton. And let's face it, boys, you get on Nia Jax's bad side, it's not going to end well. So it's not going to end well for Tiffany Stratton either way, because when she does cash in, like the title of this pay-per-view, well, part of it, she's going to be looking for blood on Tiffany for Tiffany Stratton. So, yeah, 3.5 stars for me. Yeah, I mean, they had a tough act to follow with that awesome Hell in a Cell match, but I thought they did really good. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 3.5 stars, no doubt about it. I totally agree with everything that you guys just said. Um, this was really good. Yeah, solid match to say the very least. The outcome never in doubt, I guess you can say. And now, yeah, Nia moves on to the next challenger. But like you said, Tiffany teased a possible cash in. Then we had the basically Nia Jax turning Undertaker with the sit up, and like Anthony Florio said, "How dare you?" So I don't know. We'll wait and see how that plays out. But my goodness, it just got very interesting, no doubt in my mind. So next up, we did have was Damian Priest going 1-on-1 with Finn Balor. Damian Priest winning the match, 12 minutes and 45 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
What was the time again?
12:45.
I'll give this about maybe somewhere around that 3.25. You know what? I'll give it about 3.25. I mean, yes, I mean we did have some Judgment Day interference. What else did what else did you expect? I mean, they tried everything they could to make sure Finn Balor got the best of Damian Priest, but nope, it literally backfired on them. So now the question is, what's next for Damian Priest now that he's taking care of his business with Finn Balor, or is the Judgment Day saying, you know what, we're far from done with Damian, so we'll see what happens. So 3.25 stars. I would give it 3.5, but the outside interference of the Judgment Day, I mean, took a little bit away from it. So nothing more to say, Fletch. I mean, Damian Priest may have won the match, but I got this funny feeling that Judgment Day is not done with him.
Sorry, I thought I unmuted my mic. No, I think it's not done by a long shot. I think it's just only the beginning, guys. To be real honest with you, but at the end of the day, the right man won. It's just we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, really nothing more to add. And Anthony Floyd, was yours. 3.5 stars.
Another 3.25, 3.5. Credibility is nearly non-existent for the Judgment Day following Damian Priest's win over Finn Balor last night. Even during the heat portion of the match, it never really felt like the inaugural Universal Champion ever had a chance to beat the Archer of Infamy. And I'll tell you what, There was a brief moment of drama that saw Balor appear to have the match won after executing 2 coup de grace to the back of his opponent, only for Priest to shake them off and deliver South of Heaven for the win. And with that decision, the Judgment Day looked incredibly incompetent. They had a numbers advantage, a hobbled Priest, and still couldn't take advantage. They were dispatched relatively easily, and Priest got the win. How the group recovers from that booking is a great question, and something Triple H and the creative team will have to address quickly if the goal is to keep them a focal point of Monday Night Raw. Priest yeeted Balor across the announce table at one point, and according to some of the reviews I read, this was the coldest match of the night, likely because the crowd had zero belief in Finn Balor. So this was about a 3.25, 3.5 star match, leaning more towards 3.25, honestly. But not much more to say. MF. Not very often we get promo segments during a pay-per-view, but alas, we had one last night, and we had ourselves an announcement that sounds exciting on one hand, but on the other, a lot of people crapped all over it.
Yeah, and I get it, and you know why they crapped all over it? Because because of the fact of what the match was going to result in, or what it was going to look like. So obviously, the original promo was that there was going to be a match. Well, Triple H came out and basically announced that he's like, yeah, it's going to be me versus that. What's going to happen is we're going to have a match coming up, and it's going to be one of the more bigger events at Crown Jewel, and they announced that they were going to do 2 matches. The World Heavyweight Champion is going to be fighting against the WWE Champion, and the World Women's Champion will be fighting against the WWE Women's Champion. And at the end of the night, the winners of that match will get to be presented with a championship belt. You could say it's going to be given out every year, annually, at Crown Jewel. They revealed the belt, and I get why people are mad. Because of the fact they're like, well, this seems like a money grab, Saudi Arabia, so you're going to have, wait a minute, the WWE Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion face off one-on-one. And oh, by the way, neither title is on the line. So this is not title for title. This is not unification. But just to prove who is better to win a belt in Saudi Arabia that's only going to be used for one night only? Really? So, in other words, this is like the greatest Royal Rumble ever. How they had that 50-man Rumble. They gave him a belt. They gave him a trophy. And then after that, they never talked about it or mentioned it ever again, if you remember that. So that's what we're going to get. Hunter, it's genius. I'll give you that. But it doesn't need for a belt. You don't need to put a belt on the line for this. And 2, all you just have to do is just announce the match. You get Gunther versus Cody Rhodes and Nia Jax versus whoever the WWE Women's Champion is between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I think we would have been mad about that. We would have been like, oh, cool. All right. Now we can start dreaming about the match. That'll be a hell of a fight. But to add the fact that a title is going to be on the line and that the belt is going to be presented every year from now on, meaning every year we're going to have these 2 matches guaranteed for us. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, though. And that's why a lot of people started slamming the thing. Just the mere idea is a good idea. But to add a belt as a special stakes, the regular titles are not going to be defended at that moment. That's where I think the problem lies.
I'm sorry, Fletch. I'm with the majority who are slamming this. I mean, it's I'm sorry to say it, but it's a swing and a miss here.
Yeah.
I mean,
it seems a trifle unnecessary.
Yeah, it is trifling unnecessary. I mean, why would you have a belt on the line that you're only going to do once a year?
Yeah.
Why? Doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't. No.
I mean, look, Hunter's made some good moves since taking over creative, but this one here, I'm sorry, Hunter. I love you. You've done great things since taking over creative, but I'm sorry, man. You mucked it up big time on this one. This was a swing and a miss for you. That's why people are slamming you, and rightfully so.
Yeah. A lot of people are calling this I hate to say this, but I read a lot of the comments, and a lot of people are saying this reeks of Vince.
I'm with them. It does reek Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it
does. This is like a Vince McMahon move.
Yeah. But I'm wondering.
I'm sorry to say.
But here's the thing. I'm wondering if this is a way that this is specifically for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to, pat them on the back, say, hey, you're doing these events. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Because that's what I think this is about. I think this is because of the fact that they do this money grab, and we already know, and we don't need to get into the geopolitics of this, but the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has a very sketchy track record, and the WWE got in this business with them, and this is why a lot of people's been very, 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 very shaky about WWE getting in business with Saudi Arabia.
Well, look who was the one that got into business with Saudi Arabia. It was Vince McMahon, for gosh sakes.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he's the one that started all this.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that they should. How do I say this without
back out of the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Saudis, I hate to say it, they are a bunch of shady people. So that's all I'll say. I could say some other things, but I won't.
Good idea.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but like I said, this was a swing and a miss as far as I'm concerned. And one I think people will have zero interest in because, like I said, what is the point of having a belt that you're only going to have once a year when they go to Saudi Arabia?
Well, exactly.
What's the point of it?
Because remember, this was the same thing that we were yelling the same thing about when Braun Strowman initially won that greatest Royal Rumble ever.
And we never heard about it again.
Now, again, they gave him this nice looking trophy, and it was a beautiful trophy. Like, the trophy was really an awesome trophy. And then he was presented with a championship belt. But if you notice, we never, ever, ever saw the belt ever again. We only saw it that one night in Saudi Arabia, but we never saw the belt again. The trophy, I think, only showed up maybe one time on Monday Night Raw, and we never saw the trophy ever again. So
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of feel like, that was a bad call.
Yeah, like I said, it's a swing and a miss. Not too early we say it when it comes to Hunter, but last night was the case, and it just reeks of a Vince McMahon move, even though he's not around anymore.
I mean, when I saw that little blanket over the belt, I'm thinking, hey, there's a rumor going. There've been heavy rumors going around about women's mid-card titles. I thought, maybe this is going to be it. But
there was rumors about them introducing a women's Intercontinental and a women's United States Championship. We can no longer say heavyweight championship because they're not heavyweight titles. But we did hear about them possibly doing an Intercontinental and a United States championship for the women. So yeah, I thought so too. At first,
Yeah,
I was thinking,
Me too.
and that's
maybe
why I
this is
feel
what
that
they
this was a letdown.
yeah.
I never in my wildest dreams did I ever think we were going to pull out the old bragging rights or those Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series concept here.
Yeah.
But we did. But at the same time, though, Nia versus Liv, I don't know about that. But
Gunther versus Cody, that is gonna be interesting.
They're gonna cook. They're cooking.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
We're gonna eat on that one, boys.
Yep.
So, Cody and Gunther, something we haven't seen since they were the final two men in the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble match.
Oh, by the way, Cody Rhodes won that Rumble.
Perhaps they give the win back to Gunther here.
Yeah.
But I'm looking way more forward to that one. But then again, you never know. The women's could end up changing. You don't know.
Yeah.
We still got 4 weeks, guys.
We still got 4 weeks. Yep.
But hopefully they keep it at Cody and Gunther because I want to see that. We all want to see it. Even if it's for that ugly ass belt.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So now that that's out of the way, back to the actual show. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship. Yes, Dominic Mysterio got locked in a shark cage. They suspended him 10 to 15 feet in the air, which he absolutely had a nightmare for. But when it was all said and done, winner of the bout in 14 minutes even, via disqualification, Rhea Ripley. Now, here's the thing. Raquel Rodriguez showed up and jumped Rhea. However, the ref saw it and called for the bell and caused the DQ. It is being reported that the whole ending of the match was a botch. It was a misfire. And it was Raquel Rodriguez's fault. She jumped the gun. She wasn't supposed to come out as quickly as she did. She was supposed to come out. Yes, Liv was supposed to actually win the match, but she was not supposed to lose it by disqualification. That was a botchamania moment. The referee, and the thing was, it was so clear and so obvious that the referee had no choice but to call for the bell and the DQ finish. Even though that ending was not supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Liv Morgan winning the match by a screw job where Raquel Rodriguez was supposed to interfere and cost Rhea Ripley the match. But it basically was a backfire. So Dom got locked in the cage, went up 15 feet. He some way, somehow was able to pick the lock, got the door open, but then once he tried to get on the way down, he got caught. Basically, his leg got caught on something. He was hung upside down. Rhea Ripley kind of was like, well.
He's a human piñata.
And that's exactly what they used him as. Human piñata. So she took a kendo stick, started beating the daylights out of him, and then basically the next thing we know, that was when Raquel Rodriguez showed up and interfered, took Rhea out. But the thing was, the ref saw the whole thing. He had no choice but to call for the bell. So it was a 3.25 star to 3.5 star bout. But I feel so bad because now I know that was not the original ending. The original ending was Liv was supposed to win by screwjob finish. So obviously the storyline is going to continue. But here's the kicker. Liv Morgan now has her best friend back. She's got her original tag team partner back. and it looks like they're going to be working together. In other words, you could even say, Raquel Rodriguez, welcome to the Judgment Day, because she's now the newest member. So we'll see how this plays out. This just got very interesting. Anthony Florio, now based off of the info I've given you, does that change your mind about the rating, or what is your sentiments now that you know that the whole ending actually ended up being a botch?
Before I do that, the first 2/3 of Liv Morgan's Women's World Championship defense against Rhea Ripley made for a strong match that saw Liv use her opponent's intensity and emotion against her to seize control before Mommy fired off a comeback and dominated her late. And then we had the Dominic Mysterio shark cage nonsense. He managed to open the door, drew the attention of Rhea, who proceeded to tee off on him with a kendo stick as he hung upside down from the cage like a piñata. And Raquel made a return, wiping out Rhea and drawing the DQ. And the former women's tag team champions celebrated along with Dominic to close it out. All right. You want my thoughts on this, MF? I'm going to give you my thoughts as only I can. I hate to do it, but I got to be the man who tells it like it is. And when I say that, you know what's coming.
Constructive criticism.
You damn right. The finish was overbooked.
Nothing is good when Florio says that.
Never. The finish was overbooked and unnecessary. Dominic easily could have remained in the cage and unable to help Liv, while Raquel interfered on behalf of her friend and tag team partner to draw the disqualification. Rhea moves on to feud with Raquel, and Morgan finds another challenger to keep her busy for a few months. Easy. Instead, what we got was a drawn-out finish that fell flat and did not generate the reaction one would have hoped for from the return of a former champion. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez will be a quality feud, and it was more than time for this chapter of the rivalry to come to an end. But the execution here left a lot to be desired and dragged down what was otherwise a good match. This is the worst fight of the night for me. I'm going to give this in excess. And you wanted my thoughts? I'm giving them to you. I can only give this 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. Ripley and Morgan have some serious in-ring chemistry, and it would be nice to see them start and end a match without chicanery. Of course, that would negate the reason for them wrestling anyway, but still, and that's really all there is to say on this. So for me, worst fight of the night, 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. So great to see Raquel back, absolutely. And I mean, I did not have this on my bingo card. I did not. But the botch, yeah, that was a heavy botch, and the botch definitely plays into the rating. If not for the botch, I would have given this probably right around 3 1/4, 3.5 or so. But that botch, yeah, I gotta drop the hammer on this one. 2.5, 2 3/4, and that's mainly for the botch alone. So, and MF, you said Bullock and I, we had a brief little chat earlier. And we were very curious as to how you felt about it mainly because of Raquel. I mean, with Raquel helping Liv, we were wondering, is she a member of the Judgment Day? So you're basically saying she is.
I would say yes. I would say she, by proxy, I think she would be allowed in because it's Liv Morgan. Liv would probably say, "Hey guys, she's in." And I would even think Dom would even allow her to be in it because of how she essentially saved him from literally being a piñata, for heaven's sake. Yeah, Rhea was beating the living daylights out of Dom, and that thing there saved him. So obviously, I think Dominic would allow Raquel to be a part of the crew.
Okay, so for me, it's 2.5, 2 3/4. So Michael Bullock, You wanted MF's answer? You got it. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with his thinking?
Well, where do you stand, Florio?
Well, I mean, MF makes a valid point. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to play the waiting game, and we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow night on Raw in St. Louis to find out the ultimate answer. But based on MF's theory, I'm inclined to agree, unless we see otherwise.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree as well, but you know what? I'm not gonna fully say she is part of the Judgment Day because we need to see what happens tomorrow night to see what the fallout is from all this. I mean, if it's the case that Liv says it, then I'll say it that she's fully a member of the Judgment Day, and if that's the case, the Judgment Day just got more. He's got more dangerous because now you add the strength of Raquel Rodriguez on there. Liv Morgan's going to hold on to that damn title as long as she wants to, and they ain't a damn thing anybody can do about it. So, yeah, I'm only going to give this 2.5 stars as well for that, especially with the botcheroo, the major botcheroo here, because like you said, Raquel was originally supposed to come and attack her, then put Liv Morgan on top of her, and Liv wins the match. But she jumped the gun too quickly, and that's why we got that DQ finish there. So, and Rhea Ripley's going to say, guys, that DQ finish, that she deserves another opportunity. So we'll see what happens with that. So 2.5 stars. Let's move on, Fletch.
And before we do, there is one thing I do need to address. I just checked the Judgment Day's Wikipedia page, and they list Raquel Rodriguez as a member. Read into that what you will.
Yeah, but this is Wikipedia. I would take that with a pinch of salt because like I said, there's nothing official, but Wikipedia, they could put their own thing, their own spin, whatever they want to say, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're officially in or out. So
that's why I said that we have to wait and see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We can't just go and simply say, "Oh, she's a member of the Judgment Day," especially if Wikipedia puts it.
Yeah.
We need to see it happen before we can say, "Oh, yes, she now is a member."
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she will be declared a member of the crew, and that's just my personal thought. I think when it's all said and done, we will hear that. That I'm pretty sure we'll hear that they're in. So yeah, there's nothing more. There's nothing more to say. So uh, we got one more match to go, guys. The main event of the evening, the tag team match, the one that the world's been waiting for. It was Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes teaming up to take on Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 25 minutes and 50 seconds, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. This Anthony Florio. Oh my goodness. Boy, do
Michael Bullock lead off, not me.
Oh, it's Bullock. I'm sorry. I apologize. Michael Bullock. Oh my goodness. Chaos is all I can say.
Yeah, it was complete and utter. What was the time of the fall first again?
25-50.
Yeah, I'll give this about maybe. I'll give this about maybe a 4 for the rating here. I mean, it was a good match. I mean, unfortunately, we did have the interference from the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa during this, but here's the thing. I mean, on the outside, I mean, we see this person with a hooded sweatshirt and one of those masks on, and then all of a sudden they get super kicked. And it comes to find out, guys, well, he's back. Jimmy Uso is back and is siding with the OTC, the original tribal chief Roman Reigns, and yeah, I mean basically he helps Roman and Cody win the match, and then all of a sudden after the match, the new bloodline beats down Cody Rhodes until Roman and Jimmy Uso decide to come and chase them off. But then there was more, boys. He's back. The final boss, The Rock. I mean, we heard the rumors that he was in Atlanta, Georgia, and he was there as part of the Bad Blood event. But now the $1,000,000 question is, as he didn't truly reveal whose side he's on. But come on, guys.
He revealed it.
But
He
come on,
revealed
guys.
it.
But come on, guys. We're no dummies here. We know whose side he's on.
Yeah.
He's on the side with the new bloodline. I mean, I think he's the one that told Solo to basically be the new tribal chief, and he was the one that brought in Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and Jacob Fatu. Because what's the one thing that's been on the back of The Rock's mind?
WrestleMania, when Roman accidentally speared him.
Even though we all know it was accidental, but do you really think the final boss is going to think it's accidental?
Not only that, but also the fact that Roman lost the next night and lost the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes.
With all the momentum, he basically had an easy path to win, but he blew it.
And he blew it.
And that's why The Rock is probably like, you know what? It's time for a change. And I think he's done that. So while they're playing this out, I think the three of us, we already know that he's on the side of the new bloodline.
And the thing is also, pardon my language, because this is from The Rock himself. The last 6 months, and this is his words, has been utter bullshit as it pertains to the bloodline. What does that tell you about everything that's been going on? That also gives us the fact that I believe that he is on the side of Solo and the crew. And then he also says something that was also very telling. He turned around and he showed he looks at that little, you know, the WWE production trucks?
Yeah.
And that there was a photo of Dusty Rhodes.
He says, I love you, but I hate your son.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure that this is a very interesting situation, to say the very least. But you can go ahead, Bullock.
Yeah, it is very interesting. So we'll see how it all plays out. But the only thing we can do now, Fletch, is just take it with a grain of salt with everything The Rock said. Well, when it comes to looking at that production truck, but here's another thing that went down that we didn't see on the air. As you saw on the Dirt Sheet Radio's Facebook page, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yeah. Ha.
So yeah, it finally happened. And I know there's going to be some people who are probably like, wait a minute. Why didn't you just do this on a SmackDown? But here's the thing. What's the one thing that we like when it comes to Triple H's creative ways?
Unpredictability.
Exactly, Flora. You brought it up. Unpredictability. Because if they did this on SmackDown, people will be like, yeah, we know this is going to happen. I don't think anybody could have predicted that this heel turn was going to come after the pay-per-view.
But not only that, but they did this outside of the building. Basically, they made it look like two guys having a conversation, it got heated, and then a fight breaks out. This is very UFC-like. You know what? This is why I love TKO. Because you're seeing shit that has happened in the UFC that sometimes, okay, tempers flare. They blew their stack. They decided Kevin Owens was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to beat your ass right here outside this parking lot and you ain't going to do nothing about it. You saw how the people were freaking out, yelling for security to get help for Cody. So once the Gestapo security guards were there, and even Triple H, he's like, yeah, we're aware of the situation, but we're gonna settle this internally. Don't worry, guys. We've heard about it. We're taking care of this in-house. I'm pretty sure that means we're gonna hear about it on Friday night on USA, how this is gonna be dealt internally.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk about it come Friday night. No doubt about it. So I'm gonna give this 4 stars, but Fletch, I mean, so many things to talk about, not only with the match, but with what happened after it went off the air.
All right, let's decipher this accordingly. 4 stars, I'll give you that. Great match. The one thing I will say, it goes like this. Number 1, with Jimmy Uso coming back was great. There was rumors that something was wrong. You remember Rikishi saying to pray for Jimmy, the whole 9 yards. We thought something was legitimately wrong, that something wasn't right, something was according to plan. But then they actually did everything right. They did their situation, and everything was fine. So I was happy. Okay, cool. Jimmy's back. Great. We heard the rumors about Dwayne Johnson being in Atlanta, and we're like, oh wait, is he going to show up? Sure enough, he did. So there's nothing. So that makes this very interesting, very wild. I enjoy it. I think that is strong enough. Whatever you want to say, I think it was great. So now The Rock, he's been saying a whole bunch of junk, especially on social media, and he basically said, look, what's been going on in the last 6 months has been BS. That I'm sick and tired of all the stuff about what the bloodline is going through, and he is coming back to set the record straight. You know what that means? He's going to look to try to get the belt off of Cody. He's going to get revenge because he thinks that Roman is a complete and utter failure as tribal chief. And now the high chief, and yes, he is considered high chief, so he's higher than Roman, higher than Solo on that bloodline tree. He is the highest ranking bloodline member. So now he's going to take matters into his own hands by dealing with all the stuff that's going on, which means who knows what that's going to be like. That could be very dangerous more than anything else. And then And I know, when, especially as it relates to Kevin Owens, Owens got pissed off because of the fact that Cody went to Roman and the whole 9 yards. But this goes further back than that. This goes back to the fight that they had for the title. And now when it was all said and done, they lost because of the fact that he lost that match and he didn't have that sadistic attitude. He didn't pull the trigger on him. So whatever the case may be, okay, fine. But at the end, I thought they did a really good job. 4 stars. A lot more for us to talk about down the line. Anthony Foyer, it's yours.
And with that, the road has been paved to Survivor Series War Games. The Rock's return interjects him back into the Bloodline story, and while he gestured at Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, it is not out of the question that the 3 fingers he put up, followed by the throat-slashing sign, was directed at Sikoa, who has now lost 3 high-profile matches as the new tribal chief. Has the People's Champ returned to seize control of the Bloodline in a battle with Reigns and in pursuit of Rhodes' title? It would seem that way. How does it affect Survivor Series, where he almost certainly won't compete? Then there is the return of Jimmy Uso, which was somewhat overshadowed by, but essential to whatever it is WWE has in store for all involved at the Rogers Arena in Vancouver on November 30th and heading into WrestleMania season. That the company has taken a story that is 4 years in and still manages to create intrigue and questions is a testament to all involved. Reigns and Rhodes, can you top this battle of special entrances before the match with a nice touch and showmanship and spectacle? Michael Cole noted that this was the first entrance for a PLE match Reigns has made in 4 years without the WWE Championship over his shoulder. Continuing his trend of great calls, Michael Cole noted the distrust and family feud between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns dating back to Battleground 2013, where Cody Rhodes teamed with his brother Goldust, Dustin, and had his father Dusty at ringside for a match against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins of the Shield, for their where Cody and Dustin's jobs were on the line. We all remember that. So great callback there. This is about 4, teetering on 4 1/4. This was definitely the second best fight of the night, no question about it. And a lot of intrigue now. The final boss is back. Business damn sure picks up now. Jimmy is back. Roman's got some legit backup now with Jimmy. So how we get to Vancouver at the end of November, Thanksgiving weekend, well, that remains to be seen, gentlemen. So and then of course what happened, off the air, that the incident with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, where Kevin Owens beat the holy hell out of Cody Rhodes. So Triple H said it'll be dealt with internally. I saw the tweet earlier, and definitely makes, and that my friends is what we in the biz call a hook. That is a hook for people to tune into SmackDown this Friday night in Greenville, South Carolina. So that's a hook. Remember that. That's a hook. So we already have a reason to watch it. So we'll see what happens. So 4 1/4, and it is overall review time, and I do believe MF starts it off. So overall thoughts on Bad Blood, MF?
Very good show. Solid show. I'll say 8 out of 10. I thought they did a really good job with it. Nothing more to say. Anthony Foyer, it's yours.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me as well. All right. Even though it's an 8 out of 10, there is still some constructive criticism I have to give it, though. Bad Blood was a show sold on 2 matches. The Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and the main event tag team match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. For the show to be a success, those 2 matches needed to deliver above and beyond everything else. They did. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre delivered a classic inside the steel structure, while the returns of Jimmy Uso and The Rock put an exclamation point on Roman Reigns' first match as a babyface since early 2020, just before the pandemic. There were, however, questionable booking decisions involving all aspects of the Judgment Day and the Terror Twins, which dragged things down a bit in the middle of the show. But the show as a whole was exactly what it needed to be as the unofficial kickoff to the road to WrestleMania and all of the twists and turns it will take on the way to Las Vegas next April. I'll give you the 8 out. I'm leaning more towards 7.5 to 8 out of 10, but it was still a very good show nonetheless. So, but not without constructive criticism. So 7.5 to 8 for me. Take us home, Bullock.
Yeah, I'll give this 8 out of 10 as well. I mean, you guys pretty much said everything regarding this. So, Fletch, wrap it up and set up the future content for this week.
All right, guys. So tomorrow night is Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. Monday Night Raw. He's only got NXT Level Up because I guess the TNA was a best of show. Anthony, to confirm.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, it's 10:30 tomorrow night, right?
It is 10:30 tomorrow night. So guys, it is a little earlier. So be prepared on the Tone 25 because Raw is now 2 hours. So.
And about the TNA, the reason why the TNA was a best of show was they were supposed to do tapings in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Oh, and the show got canceled because of the hurricane.
Exactly,
and
they aired a best of Bound for Glory special that was hosted by Tom Phillips, for all you WWE guys out there, showcasing some past matches from Bound for Glory. So that's all that there is. I do believe this Thursday night we should get the action back.
Okay. All right.
So it's Raw and NXT Level Up. That's it.
All right. And then on Tuesday, yes, you heard me right. Tuesday night, we're going to do a special edition of Madness. So it's going to be Tuesday Night Madness. We're going to have AEW Dynamite, and NXT because they're both going to be airing on Tuesdays this week. So, because of Major League Baseball, I do believe. Oh, Dynamite. Then we'll start it at 11. That's fine. Then we'll do it at 11 o'clock. We'll. So this is the rare time where that show will start at 11. So we'll do it at 11. As Dynamite goes off the air, then we'll come on the air. We'll cover the NXT. We'll cover AEW. And then on Wednesday, and then no show on Wednesday. Thursday is College Football Thursday, NFL Friday, Cerebral Smack Talk on Saturday. And that's our week, guys. So, yeah, we're out of here. So for Anthony Foyle, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Be a friend, tell a friend, say something nice you could actually change their life. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. We'll see you all tomorrow night. 10:30, y'all. Not 11. 10:30. Tone 25 for Ridiculously Raw. Until then, so long, everybody.